extender which we're going to attach to the rope, arm's length away. Then we've got a safety carabiner that clips onto that, like that. And that's pretty much it. We've got a figure of 8 as well. We've had a bit of a problem since I put this kit on, and we're staying inside here. A lot of the girls are sort of going sighted in the campsites. This is very, very attractive stuff. It's making me really look good looking. Mike's been dying to get his on since I've got it on. We've got a couple of spare goodies over here. And then to make it look very cool, when you're finished using it, basically it's a one movement like this. You go in like that, clip it, and just carry on walking.
Mike, John and Andy are getting ready to get onto the lines and go up a couple of anchor points. Well, boys all looking cool, ready to roll.
Okay, ciao.
Okay, Lakpa.
Ciao.
Okay, John.
Getting ready to go to North Col, and just this lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
Takes it out of you, eh?
Yeah.
Just putting on a pair of boots is hard work, eh?
Just putting on your boots.
So the boys have just returned from being up the lines for 3-4 hours.
It was interesting to see that there were some people who weren't used to that steepness, and they really cracked.
Didn't belong.
The absolute fear of that steep gradient, and they were holding on to ropes and frozen. I mean, you had to get around these people.
And he shot ahead with his and he had a Sherpa with him, and you had a Sherpa with you, and I was stuck in the middle effectively. And
also he wasn't familiar with the
and I'm
descent.
not sure how far we were going to. The goal was. We didn't really discuss it.
In my case, I must say that I don't think I had all my faculties with me, and I was relying very much on Lakpa guiding me up those last few strides, you know.
John Brand had really struggled with his acclimatization process. He was not sleeping well and constantly dealing with a temperamental stomach. Everest can be an inhospitable place, and the acclimatization process unpredictable. It was agreed that it would be in John's best interest to go down to base camp for a few days' rest, recuperation and recovery.
Acclimatizing improves the red corpuscle count in your bloodstream, which enables you to function at altitude without dying.
Well, we're going to spend a night at the North Col. There they go, all the way up onto the North Col.
Namaste.
Namaste, Lakpa. Here we are at the base of the lines. Okay, Mike, we'll see you on the way, boy.
You acclimatize by repeatedly moving up and down the mountain, climbing high and sleeping low.
Well, Andy and I have just spent the night on the North Col at 7050 meters. How was your night, Andy?
Actually, I was really good, eh? Slept well, managed to get a good meal in. It was a lot better than I expected, eh?
That's good, man.
Yeah, we can feel we're here. You have to catch your breath every now and then, but a good night.
Excellent. We have most unbelievable view out there. It's Lac Paris in the background. ABC down, left hand bottom corner. Hard down those lines, eh? Much easier than on the way up.
It's more concentration, I believe.
Yeah.
And so your mind is, because one mistake and you
slide to the next anchor.
Slide to the next anchor point.
Yeah.
So that's my take on it.
Max, this is Manny, your friend. It's Manny, your friend, your neighbor. Talk to me.
Maxut and Vasilly, the two climbers from Kazakhstan, were the first non-Sherpa climbers to summit Everest on the 30th of April 2007 without oxygen. They were seen descending the summit pyramid very late in the day and got themselves into difficulty.
To the Kazakhstans.
So Ronnie, this is the second time you were saying that you've been here.
Yes, I was here last year on the northern side, and suddenly this is it's a real wake up, I think, in many ways. It makes you realise how vulnerable one can be. Our experienced climbers, been around a long time, know what they're doing. They've been stranded before.
Thank you.
And we're nowhere near as capable as they are as climbers. And so, just somewhat scary,
The entire scene was filmed by the Discovery Channel, who spent the day in our campsite at ABC.
Well, Lakpa's climbed 1,600 meters today alone, carrying oxygen for them.
And now they don't want to take
They don't want to take it.
Yo, you've had a day. Welcome back.
At 4 a.m. on the 1st of May, they radioed Dawa Sherpa in base camp and called for help. Lakpa Rangdu Sherpa and Namgai Sherpa immediately went to their assistance.
Where is Lakpa? Yeah. Hey, Lakpa.
Maxut Zhumayev finally arrived in advanced base camp after having summited Mount Everest without oxygen, but not without help from Lakpa Rangdu Sherpa, Namgai Sherpa and other Sherpas from the 7 Summits expedition. Vasilly Pivstov arrived in advanced base camp some hours later. He had summited Everest, but he had been hammered by the mountain and was lucky to be alive.
Manuel, congratulations, my friend. What do you want? You want some tea? No. Juice? No. You're home, buddy. You're home.
As a result of this dramatic event on the mountain, the team decided not to climb any higher. Instead, they decided to descend to base camp and drive to the village of Shigar, situated at 4,200 meters, for a few days' rest. Psychologically, they all felt drained and needed to get away from the mountain for a while. Here, they celebrated Mike Patterson's birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Pip!
Yay! 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 Yeah, you didn't expect that, eh?
We're down in the little village of Shigar at 4,200 meters, so the air feels nice and thick, and we're getting our appetites back, and we're sleeping nicely, and we're going to spend a couple of days here just resting before we before we go back to BC and then push for the summit.
For the rest of my life, I'll be watching TV, and I'll be going, hey, that's Russell Bryce.
That's Russell Bryce.
He'll be powdered. He'll be like, oh, my climbers are down there over
I think Russians can better breathe than sing.
When the team arrived back in base camp, they were invited to celebrate Victory Day with Alex Abramov and his Russian climbers. The South African team were acclimatized, the weather looked good, and it was time to get back to advanced base camp.
Well, yeah, we are in intermediate base camp. We're pushing up from base camp back up to IBC.
Okay, this is Tserim Tsongsa, eh? Tserim Nongya. And this is Ronnie's friend on the mountain, and he helped Ronnie carry his bag up here. And as a gesture, Ronnie said that he can sleep in his tent tonight.
We spent a lot of time looking at weather and then moved up to ABC with a very definite weather window in mind. But somehow, as a foursome, we couldn't really come to
agreement in terms of weather, and we couldn't really reach consensus. And Andy was very keen to push for the summit and getting pretty impatient.
The thought of going back down to base camp again was just too daunting. I was ready to go one way, and that was upwards. So I felt that I'd rather face a bit of bad weather and get up there.